As you know, I'm Pastor Clint Abbott, and I have a personal podcast I want to do. I want to kind of combine it. It's not my usual Squint podcast, but I was reading this morning in Ephesians 4:1. The Apostle Paul, he urges and he begs that believers that we walk worthy of our calling. And that means to walk in balance and in step with the call that God has put in our life. And when I think about that as a pastor, as a believer in Christ, as a Christian, and then also as a pastor, I believe for me that's about walking in faith against facts and truth. I walk in faith that God will guide my steps, and that I pray that God will guide your steps. There's always the facts and then there's the truth. And I'm speaking now, I want to speak specifically about the pandemic that we have been experiencing, the alleged pandemic. The facts say that there's a COVID virus and there's the growing number of people infected. New cases continue. We always see on the news, we're confronted with the number of cases, new cases, the number of total cases and deaths. Hardly ever hear about the recoveries. All right? Those are the facts. But the truth is that God has given our bodies tremendous natural healing antibodies, abilities to really overcome most viruses that we've experienced. Not that viruses can't present themselves and cause us some difficulty with symptoms and so on, but the fact is that God has given us in our bodies, just a tremendous system to overcome and to get stronger. And that's the facts. That's the truth. The other truth is that if you know Christ as your Savior, Jesus says, the word says, by Jesus' stripes, we are healed. Meaning there's also, when you come to know Christ, there's great healing capacities available in our salvation. And so that's the truth versus the facts. So in faith, I'm going to live my life by faith, and I'm going to live a full life, and I'm not going to live in fear. I think a lot of people see this alleged pandemic and they don't want to get anything, and they get afraid, and they shut down, they listen to what government says, and they shut down, and they close up, and they mask up, and they do all these things because they're fearful of getting sick. And yet the great percentage we know, I think it's like 99% of the people recover from these things. I'm not going to live that way because I really don't. It's not the longevity of my life. I want to live a full life, all right? Meaning whatever time I have here on earth, I want to use it to glorify God, and I want to live out my best to encourage my neighbors and my friends, to encourage them, to win people for Christ, to grow in our faith, to do all that we can to proclaim Jesus, and then, of course, enjoy our families and our friends as well with the lives that we have here. That's the abundant life. I want to live a full life, an abundant life. But so if I don't have a long life, at least the life I have will be full. I'm not worried about the longevity. But my experience has been that people who live full lives live long lives. I am just now coming through my bout with COVID. Yes. So I'm speaking now out of personal experience. Not just hyperbole. Not just random, this person, that person. I'm talking about me. And this past week, on Tuesday, I became symptomatic. My symptoms started hitting me. Headache, pounding headache. It started as a nagging headache, then a pounding headache. As Tuesday rolled into the evening, Tuesday night, I began having chills and sweats and a little fever, sore throat, body aches, distorted taste and smell. And it really drove me, that was all Tuesday night, throughout the night into Wednesday, and Wednesday was not a great day for me, because all of that continued, and I didn't know. It could have been a flu bug, the head cold type of flu bug, or it could have been COVID. And I could have just gone with it and not said anything to anybody, but I thought, you know what, I'll call and I'll get my test. So I called my primary care, and I don't remember the reasoning now, but if you go through your primary care, some of them mine was particularly backed up, and then you have to get a doctor's order, and they were just giving me some lag time. It just wasn't going to be immediate. It was a matter of days before getting tested, and then maybe days getting the results. They suggested if I wanted something quicker to go to the michigan.gov/coronavirus link, and you could find where they're doing testing close to you. So I found close to me, and I went and got my testing that very day on Wednesday. And when I went in, the person who walked me into the building, it's fine. It's what they want to wear, but they looked like they were walking on the moon. I mean, they had like the shield all around them with the yellow outfit and the oxygen tank on the back, or the thing in the back flushing air through, and just looked overkill, but that's what that particular person wanted to wear. Interesting that the person who actually tested me didn't have any of that on, just had a simple face mask. So I got tested, and I got the results immediately. It popped up that I was COVID positive, and so of course the health department gets contacted, and I thought, well, I should probably let people that I was close to in the last few days know that I've tested positive. I didn't need to do that, but I did it because I felt it was a right thing to do. And so Wednesday was a pretty rough day. Thursday was better. Thursday, December 3rd was better. And things started to go away. And on the last night I started feeling much, much better. And this is Friday, December 4th, and I really feel good. I mean, and all I've taken, I don't have anything, right now there's no vaccine. There's nothing that they can really make available to you. So it's just been Tylenol, Tylenol, plenty of water, rest, just like you would do for any other virus. And so so I feel really good. And in fact, I would say I'm about 95 to 96%. I've had a minor headache earlier today, but today everything, all the other symptoms are gone. Okay. All the other symptoms are gone, and so I'm pretty much back to normal. And I think by tomorrow I'll be at full strength. So this virus presented itself very much like the flu bug that I got a year ago. In fact, that flu bug took me down, was harder on me a year ago than this coronavirus was on me. They were very similar, but a year ago it was harder on me. Now I don't go in for the flu shot myself, and and of course today I'm 64, and next Wednesday I'll be 65. Happy birthday to me on a 10-day quarantine. But so I'm even at that age where it's supposed to be harder on you. But I really believe that because of my own faith, because I want to live a full life. I am proactive. I take care of myself. I'm in good shape. I work out in the gym regularly, and I eat pretty healthy. And I think those factors, along with the fact that Jesus is my Savior and my healer, I believe that those factors come into play too for people. So I think this virus it presents itself with people differently based on your health. Now, if you're young and you're healthy, I don't think you have anything to worry about. I'm 64, almost 65, and I'm healthy. And I feel like I've had it feels like a very nominal, very slight bout with the flu is what it feels like. Not the stomach flu, but the head cold flu. So I think you use wisdom. You just use wisdom. I don't think you need to live in fear. This is not a virus to be feared. It's no different than anything else. Surely elderly people those and people whose health is compromised, and if they're in the hospital and they're sick and whatever, of course, wisdom tells you that no matter what you have, whether it's COVID or a regular bout of the flu or the common cold, wisdom tells you and common sense tells you that you just don't go up to people who are already not doing well. You don't do that, because people who are sick, whose immune systems are compromised, they can't tolerate stuff like this. That's common sense, okay? That's not unique to COVID. That's with anything else. And so, I mean, when I was, as I've been pastoring, when I was active in the church and I would visit people in the hospital, well, if I had a cold that day, I didn't visit people in the hospital. All right, I didn't. I stayed put. I stayed away. That's just common sense and wisdom. So you need to live life though fully and not in fear. I guess that's my word. Talk about living a life worthy of the calling. I'm going to live by faith, and I'm going to live a full life and not a fearful life. And I hope that my testimony to you today will maybe encourage you to, if you've allowed this to really bog you down, to lighten you up. And I haven't changed my opinion about anything. I continue to hold up individual liberty, unlike some of our government, some of our leaders and our representatives and so on. I haven't changed my opinion after my own bout one iota. I still believe that masks and shutdowns should be a matter of individual choice and liberty. Government should really needs to back out, because government really doesn't know how to organize things. Let the market, like for businesses, let the free market go. Let people make their own choices. If people want to go to the if the local restaurant wants to have dine-in service, let them. Because if you're fearful, if you're afraid, if your immune system is compromised, then you don't want to take a chance, and don't. You don't have to go out. There's nobody forcing you to go to the restaurant. On the other hand, the people that want to go out and do dine-in, like myself, let them do that. And if they get sick, they get sick. And it's not on the restaurant owner. It's a matter of everybody. And there's no one forcing us to go. Okay, so but restaurant owners, entrepreneurs, I mean, they know that their restaurants are open because they know that people want to come. People that will want to buy, and that's just being a wise business person. And so it's really up to individual liberty. So I haven't changed my thought one iota about that. Our government leaders need to back off and not get involved. These kind of choices need to be on an individual level, and people need to make their own choices. Now, healthcare people, the health departments and so on, they can make recommendations and notices and so on and so forth, but not mandates. There's a big difference. So, and that leads me now to one final thing, and that is part of this passage in Ephesians 4 about living a life worthy of our calling. It goes down into talking about the unity of the Spirit, having unity. And so I don't want to be one that causes division. I want to be one that unifies people. And I pray that what I'm speaking to today will encourage you and unify you in your faith. But there's the passage I read yesterday was out of Romans 14. Romans 14:1, which talks about, in fact, let me just pull that up here for just a quick, as they say, a quick sec. Should be able to quote it, but I won't because I would butcher it. Romans 14:1 says, except the one whose faith is weak, without quarreling over disputable matters. Now, when you read that, the Apostle Paul is saying, there are just, there's some things in life where there are matters that are disputable. One person's faith is strong and allows them to do this. Another person's faith and doesn't allow them to do this. And so, really the bottom line is the weak and the strong, whoever those are, they need to actually accept one another and honor one another's convictions. And so that's part of walking worthy, is honoring the convictions of one another. So If you don't want to go out, then I'm not going to judge you, and I'm not going to say that's bad. I'm going to say, I honor your choice and your decision. But if I want to go out, if my friend wants to have his restaurant open, or his business open, or whatever, then please don't judge. If you don't want to go out, don't go out. But let that person make their decision. Let me make my decision, and we will honor you. We hope that you will honor us as we honor you. And so that is all about walking worthy, living the life that Christ has called us to. And so there you go. There's my my bout with COVID, and I kind of thought it might go this way if I got it, and I got it, and it's kind of gone like I thought it would. I was kind of braced maybe for something a little bit stronger, but for me it's been mild because of all the various reasons I gave you already. So the truth of the matter is, probably at a certain point, everybody's going to get it at a certain point. But what you won't hear is that I'm recovering, and that statistic doesn't get displayed. That kind of irks me. It'd be nice to have the data fully represented, not just cherry pick and put out the data that they, like the media does. So anyway, but that's the media, and that's their thing, and that's how they make money, right? To get sensational reporting, that's how they do their business. So anyway, that's my word. I hope you'll enjoy the holidays. We are in the holiday season. I've got my Christmas music playing. My wife is baking cookies, and we are going to entertain. Once I'm going to honor people, and I'm not going to entertain until my 10-day quarantine, because I'm going to honor people, and I don't want people to feel like they would have to make a decision. But when my 10 days is done, which would be December 11th, then we are going to host and entertain and enjoy this holiday season and live fully and faithfully and not in fear. God bless you, and I'll see you. I'll have another podcast on Sunday night or Monday as we go into the second week of Advent. Take care.